Hey guys, we're here. It's me and Val, Natural Progressive, and Valahela56. Um, so I hope you guys are all having a good day. Let's say hi to a few people. Paul, thank you for joining us, and Book Hermit and Chris Foster, awesome from clear over the pond. Ben Wilbur was gonna join us, and he got nervous. Damn it, Ben. You can do it. I know you can. If you still feel like joining us, please do. Blake TV is here. Yay. If you want to jump on, you're more than welcome to. We just talk about whatever we feel like talking about. Mark Roche, hello. Uh, dang, Ben. Gazar. Gazar's here. Um, okay, who am I missing? Who am I missing? Moose Gal is here. Keith Boyd, hello. Um, who, who? All Raw Paul?
Mark Rowe, Dan Wilbur, Book Hermit,
Zox is here. Anita's here.
Keith Boyd.
Who else is here? Bio, of course. Thank you, Bio. I only have one mod on here. That's weird. Usually I have a lot of mods on. Torstein was here earlier. I don't know where he went.
Anita M. Anthony Davis, Ben Wilbur.
Oh, hi, Anthony.
Bio, White TV, Book Hermit, Chris Foster, Gazar, Keith Boyd, Mark Roche, Moose Gal, Paul McGinley, the great Paul McGinley, and Zox Licks.
I'm sorry I missed your thing. I was getting ready for my show, Paul. I need to get back on Head in the Box. I really, really do. I feel bad missing that. Oh, there's Oz. Oz is here.
The heads are awesome.
Oh, damn it. I knew it. Oz is going to make me wear my headphones. Oz. I don't want to. Okay, so my sound might go out for a second because I'm going to plug in my microphone and my headphones. So give me a sec, guys.
Yeah, I am an alien.
Things. Damn it.
And you're an alien too.
Okay. All right, Oz, are you happy I'm wearing these damn things? I hate them so bad. Can you hear me?
Okay. Good news, people. We made it another day. We ain't dead yet.
And my sound is working, hopefully.
Sound check.
Okay, this gal's okay. The people are talking to each other. Headphones. Hey, Indie Outsider. Dave is here. Yay! Hi, Dave. Missed you so much. Okay, so everyone hear me good now? I hate wearing these damn things. I hate it. I hate it so bad.
Okay.
Okay, now Val doesn't sound like he's in a toilet paper tube. Okay. So I guess my earphones and mic make you sound better, but God, I hate them. God, I hate them so bad.
Well, I guess that's thanks to you, Oz.
Yes, it is. He's figured out the sound for us.
But I'm trying to get out of a toilet paper roll.
Okay, so guys, today is Columbus Day, and it's really funny. I got to tell you this story because this morning I was watching the news while getting ready for work, and they started out with this little thing that said, Columbus Day, a little graphic they had up on their on the morning news saying Columbus Day, banks closed, this, that, and the other. And then halfway through the program, they changed it to Indigenous Peoples Day. Halfway through, they just switched it. Oh my God. Okay, that made me very happy because Columbus was an idiot and an asshole, a genocidal slave mongering piece of crap that we should not be celebrating. So I was very happy and this was Fox News. It was Fox local channel, Fox News, that did this. So I don't know. What do y'all think about that? And what do you think about it, Val? Hey, Columbus, Thorstein says. Well, because some people a day off. I didn't get a day off. Genocidal slave mongering that we should not be celebrating. So I was very happy. On, Val? And this was thought. Do I have something open or is that you?
That's me, and I'm kind of lost your sound a little bit, but that's okay. I'm working on it.
Don't
Keep talking.
Okay, don't blame one figure for the ills of the time. Well, I'm sorry, but give blame where blame is due. That when you hear the full story, it's kind of ridiculous. Oh, Pat Hacker's here. Actually, there is no evidence Columbus owned any slaves, but he did ship slaves over to Spain, right?
Cuba.
Cuba, from Cuba. He landed on Cuba, and there was another place he landed. And there
Uh,
was actual writings. If you go back and look at the actual writings that he did, he talked about how he was going to take them and bring over slaves because he couldn't get the gold that he promised. So he had to come back with something. So he came back with slaves instead. Am I wrong? I mean, I
okay,
don't.
well, there's some technical things there, but not totally. Not totally wrong.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. They're trying to rewrite history. Yeah, well, the victors always write the history. Whoever wins a war or whatever writes the history. But yeah, I mean, I would rather celebrate the indigenous people. If you look at the writings back then, and that's what I encourage you to do, don't take my word for it. Definitely don't take my word for it. Go back and look at the actual writings that Columbus did back then, because that's what I was listening to earlier today. And his writings are absolutely disgusting. Like what he was doing to the indigenous people was disgusting. And I am so thrilled that they are recognizing Indigenous Peoples Day instead of Columbus Day here in Utah, one of the most oppressive states in the freaking union. So that made me very happy. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
he, another Italian, Christopher Columbus. Come here, and the only thing he didn't bring was the mafia.
Yeah. They brought diseases too, right? I mean,
Uh, they brought syphilis
yeah.
to no syphilis was brought from the Americas to Europe, and they brought smallpox and all kinds of diseases that wiped out the native population.
Yeah, there was problems with that. I mean, I don't think we should glorify somebody who was just trying to get recognition for finding a country. For one, he didn't really find the Americas at first, you know. I mean, that's how the Indians got their name. He thought he landed in India.
Right,
It's like-
right. Well, they were looking. They didn't know that there were two land masses, North and South America, in between Europe and India,
yeah.
and they
Well,
were looking for a direct passage, and they blundered into the Americas, and everything had changed from then on out.
yeah.
Europe got syphilis, and the Americas got um, Italians
Well,
and
didn't they
spaghetti.
like purposely give the natives like blankets and all that were infected with disease?
Well, that was an early version of biological warfare.
Yeah, I mean,
When they needed to, that's what they did. Cortez went to uh, Central America, and they pretty much wiped out Aztecs, Mayans, civilizations. They did more with biological warfare than they did with the sword and the cannon.
yeah, it's insane. And then they took like, I think the first trip back, he took like 500 Native Americans as slaves, and 200 of them died on the first trip, if I remember right. But I honestly do not want to be considered an expert because I'm not a historian or anything. Um, I'm just going off of of what I've been researching today, which you know, I can only listen to stuff while I drive. I can't do a lot of, but I really encourage everyone to look into their own information. That's and do research. I do like go into things deeply when I need to, but I didn't have time. So I just really wanted to talk about Columbus today just because of what I seen this morning on the news, and they were showing they had a Native American demonstration, because Utah is a big state for Native Americans, and they were demonstrating against Columbus Day, and that's like it seemed like that's what made the change for Fox News to change their graphic to say Indigenous Peoples Day instead of Columbus Day. So I was kind of excited because I am a big proponent of Native Americans, and we stole their land, we desecrated it, we
Well, there was an actual genocide.
yeah, there was a genocide
I
against
mean,
Native
not
Americans.
attributed to Christopher Columbus, but many other Europeans that came
Oh yeah,
after.
after him, absolutely they did, and they took over all the land. And okay, this is what gets me, and this is probably going to be a little controversial because recently, okay, my emo video where I just got really depressed, last week or the week, I don't know when it um, was because my brother called me an anti-Semite because I was calling out the U.S. for supporting Israel, who is committing a genocide against the Palestinians, and so I'm against Jews apparently because I don't like what the Israel government is doing. But if it's okay to support Israel and make that land just for them, and they can go ahead and kill all the Palestinians, that's fine, right? But at the same time, it you're not like anti-Native American if you don't let the Native Americans come back and take their land back. I don't get that. It's hypocrisy in my eyes. So I don't know. Okay, I got off on a totally different topic that we didn't even discuss. This is something that's been bugging me this week.
Western man. I will add one thing to it, and it's the term manifest destiny, which many people have you heard that term before,
No,
Christine?
I mean I heard it,
Never.
but I didn't understand it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I didn't hear it till a couple of years ago, till my sister used that and basically said it's our manifest destiny to come and take native lands, indigenous lands.
Hmm.
It's they use the term manifest destiny, and it has a pseudo religious tone to it. That God has given us the mandate to come and take control of, whether it's Australia or the Americas,
Why would a god do that?
because that's I don't have a clue why but that's the term that they use, and I guess there's some racist tones to it.
Human
And
says manifest destiny came after the Constitution, and
I'm not sure when
Native
that.
Americans were helpless in the face of Western diseases. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they brought new diseases that they didn't have any immunity to. And they did it on purpose. They gave them blankets. Like, here's some blankets, here's a gift. They knew they were infected, and they gave them to the Native Americans.
But the Europeans got syphilis in return and brought that to Europe, and that's their surprise present for what they did.
Gods are cruel, says Kent. Yeah, they must be if that's what they want. I That's no God I want if that's what they want. Because oh my God, the Native Americans were the ones that actually wanted to protect the water, the trees, the land. They wanted to protect it. They worshipped it like it was the God. And I think we'd be in a better position today if they were the ones in charge instead of what we got. You know what I mean?
What we got was Western European domination, and yeah, the Indians lived uh, in tune with nature,
Yeah.
and if that if it would have stayed that way, we wouldn't be having the ecological problems that we are having now.
Yeah. New person Kay Basham, Zionists knowingly use the argument that one is anti Semitic if one is against Zionist genocidal policy and action. you're so right. And I just a family member um hit me with that and called me anti-Semitic. My brother, my own brother, called me anti-Semitic. He knows who I am. He knows that I'm not racist in any way, shape, or form. But just because I criticized Israel's government and our support of Israel's genocide against the Palestinians, I was called an anti-Semite. And I don't understand that concept. I just don't. I don't get it. Trisha says the British did terrible things to the Morris too. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. That song, "We Can Do What We Like with God on Our Side." Oh, I can't wait to have you on. Okay, Trisha's gonna join us on Wednesday. Um, I hope, I think, with video and all. So I can't wait to talk to her about everything. Much of Israel's policies against the Palestinians is truly awful and cruel. I agree. Yeah, I mean the Palestinians are pretty much put in an open air prison. Um, they fight with rocks and they're shooting them. They're shooting women that are carrying babies. They're shooting reporters. They're shooting medics. You know, just assassinating them, and that's just wrong. I'm sorry, it's wrong.
The I hate to say this, and a lot of people may take offense, but Israel has taken a lot of lessons from the Nazis, and as far as their
After
type of
what happened to them, the Jewish people, how could they go and do the same thing? Like
I
they,
think they learned lessons from the Nazis. Basically,
it makes me ill. It absolutely makes me ill. Oh, Jilly's here. Hello, Jilly. Julie says being anti-oppression and genocide is not anti-Semitic unless
the
Semites are doing it.
to look at the other side, the Israelis believe that they have an existential threat to Jews. That there's an existential threat, and so they must have these very harsh policies against the Palestinians. They have the Israel has the Samson nuclear policy that if Israel is attacked, that they will let loose all their nuclear weapons, all of them. Haven't you heard that policy before, Christine?
Not really, but I don't.
It's called the Samson policy.
I have not. Okay, bullies and their domination language is meant to silence dissent. Human, thank you. Jews are God's chosen people, so to criticize is to question God Christian perspective over 2,000 years. Yeah, it's just silliness. Capitalism is God, human says. Yeah, I mean, I really believe that Republicans believe that capitalism is God, and I don't know. Yeah, every religion think they're better. Not the Columbus, the TNO genocide, 500 nations.
Yeah, I agree with Torstein. I
Nazism
agree,
actually was modeled on Jewish Zionism. That one.
sort of. I believe that Israel learned lessons after World War II and have almost out Nazi the Nazis
Mm,
in their harsh policies.
yeah,
They did not let World War II the lessons of that go by lightly.
yeah. Booker, if you didn't think your religion was best, you'd believe something else. Okay, I believe something else. I don't know. I'm not sure where you're going with that one, Booker, but I believe something else.
I said this before, but like squabbling children, I think that they ought to just be separated. And so one, either the Palestinians or the Israelites should be moved the whole country to Antarctica. Just get them out of there.
Okay, how? Okay, I did not want to get into this, but how does that relate with the Kurds? Because the Kurds don't have a homeland, so they are being kind of fought against everywhere. They turn, and the U.S. promised to give them Damascus, and after all these years we've been in Syria, promising them Damascus and fighting alongside them, meanwhile, funding the people they're fighting against.
Okay, so it's a huge mess. And so far, what have we accomplished other than Syria is almost a destroyed country,
Yeah.
and
But
we've
we're
had
making it
nothing.
worse. Every minute we're there, we're making it
It's just more
worse.
meddling. Why don't we take care of our own
We
problems
should have
here?
been there from the beginning. We should have never ever occupied
Right.
Syria. And then Trump, he didn't take the troops out. There's only 1,000 there. He didn't take them out. He just moved them somewhere else. This is such a complicated issue. It's not like a simple this is what should be done. And it pisses me off when people are like, no, it should be this way. No, I'm sorry, it's not that simple. You need to look into it deeper, and it goes way back when the U.S. started partnering with the Kurds because they promised them Damascus. They did not have a homeland. They don't. There's Kurds in Turkey. There's Kurds in Syria. There's Kurds all over the place. They don't have a homeland. So there's nowhere for them to go. And now Turkey wants to take over where the Kurdish settlement is and put all the Syrian refugees there. That's ah
So
okay.
why doesn't the United Nations handle this? It should just be handled in the UN.
Yeah, well,
And
we shouldn't have nothing to do with it. And it's too complicated for us to figure. It's their land. Why the U.S. should have nothing to do with figuring this out. Let them figure out. The Kurds are now going to Syria's leadership and asking for their protection. Great. Now bring our troops home. Just do it. This we are only making it worse, and that's my opinion. I'm sorry. I don't really want to get into this because I know everyone's going to be pissed at me because it's it's not pro Trump. I hate Trump. I think he's a fucking idiot. He's an idiot. If
oh, they're
anyone does not understand that Trump is a fucking idiot, then I'm sorry, but he is an
fucking idiot.
idiot. He's a total idiot. If he does
Total
anything
idiot.
right, it's a total mistake, and he's only doing it to benefit himself. Period. End of story. Don't even accuse me of supporting Trump because I do not support Trump. Okay? Let's get that straight. So,
And I hope Mr. Trump, if he hears that, he listens to you, Christine.
he won't though because he's only going to do what benefits him. So he did not bring our troops home. So that pisses me off. He just moved them to another area. We are still occupying Syria. We should not occupy Syria. We should just we should not occupy all the countries we're occupying. We should bring our troops home and use our defense budget for defense, not offenses against other countries that have resources that our country wants to profit off of.
I don't mean to harp on this, but the U.S. has spent 1.5 trillion in Iraq, another trillion in Afghanistan. All that money could have gone a long way to resolve environmental issues.
Yes, it could have. I would have rather. But do you think, talking about the military budget, and I know this is way off of what our topics were today, but speaking of the military budget, where even progressives voted in that military budget for Trump that they call a warmonger and we're worried about him having control of the nuclear button, whatever. Do you think they gave him that money, which some of it went towards the wall? Do you think they did that because they know climate change is an issue and we're going to have tons of climate refugees coming this way? Do you
Look,
think?
can I say a few things about the wall?
Okay, go ahead.
First of
I'll
all,
read.
if most modern U.S. prisons there are no walls, okay, they have razor wire. They have like two or three or four lines of razor. They don't need walls, okay. They have three or four lines of razor wire. Maximum security prisons. People got all worked up about this wall. All they have to do is put in razor wires, sensors, drones. That would be 1,000 times more effective than a wall. It's just an ideologically arguing point. Every modern U.S. prison does not have walls. They have razor wire. And I'm sure that prison they're building in Utah is being built with razor wire.
I'm
And they have
sure
a
it
little
is.
truck. They have a couple trucks driving around the prison watching. They have guard towers. Nobody's getting out. Okay. So eventually, yes, the that's just a political thing with the wall. The right wants a wall. The left goes batshit crazy about it. They don't need a wall. They just need razor wire, sensors, drones. Nobody's getting through. And yes, it's to stop climate refugees. That's the plan.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the plan. I'm almost certain that's the plan. Oh my gosh, there's such great conversations going on in the chat. Kay Tulsi talks about these regime change wars and how the U.S. should get rid of them. They're illegal wars, not sanctioned by the UN. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I had a little tiff about Tulsi today because I heard her protecting Ellen DeGeneres about hanging out with the war criminal
Well,
Bush. That pissed me off a little bit.
uh,
I have always been the biggest kind of Tulsi backer until that kind of pissed me off. Why you say you're against war and war criminals, but yeah, you're gonna back Ellen DeGeneres, like saying it's okay to get along. I don't know. You got to read the tweet. I think Jimmy Dore covered it or something. Or no, is Humanist Report? I don't know. One of them did, and it was just. Are you serious? Like Tulsi, don't disappoint me like that, please. That's insane. Don't freaking.
well, she is a major in the Army Reserve.
I know, but you don't freaking support a war criminal who pushed torture and killed thousands of civilians. That's not the same thing as having a disagreement in politics. That's a war criminal. You don't say, "Oh, don't worry about your disagreements." You can only go so far with that. So,
Did you ever have you ever seen that game show that Ellen DeGeneres hosts?
I'm not. I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
one of the cruelest.
I don't know. So
That's one
Shiva.
of the cruelest game shows I've ever seen.
Oh, where she like people drop down into
Right,
something.
right.
Yeah,
That
I
show.
seen that. Eshiva's here. Hi, Eshiva.
There's something that tells me that
Maybe.
that woman has got a mean streak in her.
Yeah. Oh, she's not. I mean, she used to be a good person. I think money could make you kind of evil if you have so
Yeah, but
much
she has
money.
a certain amount of glee when people, they dump them into a vat of tomato sauce, and she
Yeah.
laughs at it and seems to get a lot of enjoyment out of it, and it just comes off to me as a mean streak.
No kidding. Osama's here too, I guess. Osama, I hope your family's okay, your dad and your mom. Hope everybody's doing okay. Um, I see someone talking to Osama. I don't see Osama. I don't get to see all these comments. There it is. He posted a link. Generation has come across the sea using the wind. They are allies, not conquerors. They are capable of receiving
Okay,
the
but
message
Anthony's
held
saying
until
that
the end.
politics is a distraction from the real problem, and I totally agree.
Yes, I agree too. Yeah.
Look, I believe politics is a well. I'm not going to say it. Not here in front of Paul. I think politics is a fail.
Oh, it's a dog and pony show. That's
What
all
what
it
is it?
is. It's a dog and pony show. All of it. I mean,
Well,
it's a play put on for our entertainment to distract us from the real issues. That's what it is.
well, tell me what have they fixed? What have the politicians have fixed?
They haven't fixed the damn thing.
They're
I
lawyers.
okay. Trev B5's here. Hi, Trev. You had to make coffee. Well, I hope you got your coffee. Aw, hanging in there. That's good. Osama, email me, Osama. Let me know what's happening. Don't invite me to politics.
Shakespeare.
uh, Ellen has a mean streak she mostly has on Hollywood chums. They gloat about how much money they have and how
I
expensive
agree
their
with
clothes.
Trisha.
Yeah,
So
and
true.
they pat each other on the back all the time. Like that's all they do is pat each other on the back and congratulate each other for all their great deeds that
Go,
they've
girl.
done, and it's so stupid. It's just all these rich people like hugging each other, like, "Aren't you wonderful? Aren't you wonderful?" And they don't do a damn thing for everybody else. They have all this money. They could solve so many problems. They could buy up all the land and stop people from mining it. They could do all kinds of things to protect the environment. Good day, honey. Love you. They could do so many things with all that money they have, and they
And
choose
power.
to just, yeah, and power, and they just choose to hoard it and buy all these wonderful things and hang out with ex-presidents and just get all that glory and shit. It's like, I don't understand. I don't.
Not only that, they
Uh,
influence the average Americans to want to be just like them. Everybody wants to be
right.
like Ellen DeGeneres. Hey, Paul.
Chris Foster says, if money makes you evil, I should be proclaimed a saint any day now.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Hey, I made a
Wants
mistake.
to be like Ellen DeGeneres. Hey, Paul.
I made a mistake.
If money makes you evil, I should be. You just got to close up the sound on your YouTube. That's all.
I'm gonna sign out and get back in again. I made a mistake. I'm using my computer microphone.
Okay, do it.
Whatever you got to do.
See you, bro.
We'll see you in a sec. Cool.
You know, the problem with Hollywood is that it influences many people to dream to be just like Ellen DeGeneres or any of the other movie stars, and people aren't thinking about the climate. They're thinking about hitting it big and becoming a movie star or a country western singer.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
that's
the
their
connections they can make. Yeah. Okay, Paul's back with us. Hi, Paul. I can't wait to hear your opinion on this.
Paul.
Looks like my other boss, Paul McGinley. Hi, bio. Extreme
Paul's
poverty
spitting out.
also makes you evil, though. Yeah, extreme poverty can also make you lie, cheat, steal in order to survive. But that, I think that's not necessarily evil. That's survival in my book. So, here the new movie, The Joker, is about the book hermit.
Is it?
Book hermit. You know that's a joke.
So Osama is saying that Jane Fonda has moved to Washington to get arrested every Friday for climate change awareness.
Yeah, I heard she's gonna be there, but she is connected with Neera Tanden that's pushing the Green New Deal, and you know how I feel about the Green New Deal. So
You know, like certain details.
yeah, I heard she's gonna be there, but she is connected with Neera Tanden that's pushing the Green New Deal, and you know how I feel about the Green New Deal.
Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Yes. You know, like but you got to turn off the.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I did.
Okay.
It takes a minute to catch up after you turn it off. So.
I had to use the computer audio because it wouldn't have set my mic. Anyway, yeah, regarding the politics, I mean, I'm basically in agreement with you guys that the politicians don't change too much. I do think that Trump's done a lot of damage, though.
Oh, I know he's done a lot of damage. I think he's a moron. If he
and-
does something right, it's by mistake, and it's only to benefit him.
Yeah, I think we got to get him out. I think we got to get him out. So,
but we're not going to be able to impeach him. You know that, right?
I don't follow that stuff. You might surprise you. I don't. Brian is the whiz with all that. I just kind of get my information from him. I really don't follow politics that closely.
Well, that's probably good. I hate following politics. I just hear too much, and then it's like it steams and boils in my head, and I don't want it because I know it's not going to do us any good anyway. So I try not to follow it, but I hear enough of it. I'm like, no.
But you know what? I think that one of the dangers of Trump, and why he's so bad, is that he's doing a lot of things without approval of Congress.
Yeah, he is.
Like these tariffs are all unilaterally designed.
I'm not upset about the tariffs or the trade war. I gotta admit that I'm not.
It's doing a lot of damage. Well, we're paying for it, you know.
I don't care. You know what's good? The environment isn't paying for it because tariffs are against trade. Trade is transporting goods from one place to the other, which is costing fossil fuels, which takes away from the natural environment, which screws, our biosphere. So I'm okay with that. I anything that stops that.
Well, I don't know if it does that, Chris, because what's happening is it incentivizes American companies to move their industry back here and foul our environment, whereas,
Well, the environment is environment. It's a worldwide issue. It's
right,
not
right.
just our issue, but when you're transporting goods, it's double the hazard against the environment, double the damage, because not only are you using the fossil fuels and all that to rape the environment, you're also using fossil fuels to ship it. It's double duty, horrible, and it affects me personally too because we're selling all of our hay to China, and so my horses don't get to eat from the hay that's grown here.
Mhm.
They grow it with all of our water resources and everything, and then they bale it up with all of our fossil fuel resources, and then they ship it to China. And then guess what? If I want hay for my horses, it went from when I first moved here, it was about $98 a ton for hay. Now it's $278 a ton, and we feed like, I don't know, 8, 9 tons a month.
Well, I think these
So
these these things like tariffs should be determined through international cooperation and working together. Otherwise, it's just chaos.
we just shouldn't be trading, period,
And what
between
we've got is
countries.
chaos.
We should be living locally on the resources we have here. If you need to bring resources in, you shouldn't be a country. You should just die. You just go away. If you cannot support yourself, just go. I know that's a horrible thing to say, but we are overpopulated. We have outgrown
Mhm.
our ability to support ourselves. If you have to import resources, you're an overshoot. You need to cut things down. You need to.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I go on record saying that we're way too materialistic here. That we could live on a lot less than we do.
And we
That
need to
Easily,
that
easily.
that
easily, yeah.
or addiction to materialism really is independent of our capacity to be happy. Really, so
Yeah,
uh, I
everyone
certainly
connects it. Like,
agree there.
they
You know.
connect their happiness to owning things. There's something really wrong with that. Like, you shouldn't something you own should not make you happy. Your
Yeah,
your
I was
experiences, your relationships, that should make you happy, not what you own.
Yeah, I was talking to
Materialism
some
is
young
stupid.
person, well, one of the young people I work with, and they just got a new phone and they're showing it around. And I said, "Well, how long did you have your other phone for?" And it was like a year and a half. And I said, "Well, you're young, you're inheriting this earth. Did you feel it necessary to switch your phone when the old one still worked perfectly well? And do you realize how much rare minerals are used to create that phone?" Um, but hey, if the young aren't paying attention to that, why should some old fogey like me do
Yeah,
so?
I kind of understand. I understand that sentiment. I do. But then I have kids, and I feel like, God, I mean, I think we set them up in the society, the previous generations. Like, we made this
Phone.
society. Oh, you have a flip phone still. That's hilarious.
A little story with this flip phone. Okay, they made me change it. They made me buy a new one because they said the 3G network is being discontinued, and
Oh,
in order for me
God.
to graduate to this new network, whatever it's called, I had to buy a new flip phone. And this flip phone is worse than my old one. The battery runs out quickly.
Oh,
Ah,
yeah. The
they made me
fancier the
pay for
phone, the
something
quicker the battery runs out. That's for sure.
they
Um,
made me pay for something I did not want.
yeah, that's the way it goes. And by the way, we're going to be in this area. We get to be guinea pigs for 5G. So super excited about that. Um,
Not
don't know.
me. I'm not going on that 5G.
No, I'm not. That was sarcastic, by the way.
Well,
I,
actually it gets worse than 5G, and I'm going to give you a stock pick here.
okay, I'm going to
Okay.
take a little bit of a
Uh,
a break. So you guys just chat
okay, we'll take it from here. Go take your break. I'll give him the stock tip.
because, yeah, yeah, I need a break. I don't know how to. I'm gonna stop the video.
Okay, maybe you weren't aware of this, Paul. But Elon Musk plans on sending up 16,000 Starlink communications satellites. They want to capture the 2 billion humans on Earth that do not have internet. Okay. So SpaceX is starting to send up these that's going to be a lot of money. Can you imagine 2 billion customers? How much money they're going to make on that?
So you said they're going after the 2 million that do
2
not
billion. 2 billion.
2 billion that do not have internet coverage.
Right.
And these satellites will somehow allow them access to that market?
Right. They're going to have internet through satellite. So in Africa, the Congo, they will pay probably a nominal fee compared to what we pay, around $50 or $60 a month.
Right.
It might be 15 or 20 bucks a month.
Uh-huh.
To have it. These people do not have access to the internet. Okay. So SpaceX has already sent up 60 of these communication satellites. And they plan on setting up 16,000. Also, Jeff Bezos's Amazon Blue Origin space company is planning on starting out with 3,000 of these type of satellites. So I'll read this off here. SpaceX has planned, this is from Wikipedia, to deploy nearly 12,000 to 16,000 satellites in 3 orbital shells by the mid 2020s. I'm not going to get, but they're KU satellites, blah, blah. They're going to look like, what latitude and longitude looks like on the globe?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to completely cover the entire globe with roughly 30,000 communication satellites. That's their plan. Okay. 30,000 communication satellites. Okay. We don't have, but a small percentage of space satellites up there now. And they're going to put 30,000. Concerns have been raised about the long-term danger of space junk resulting from placing thousands of satellites in orbits. Yeah.
I can only imagine.
And not only that, but they also plan on SpaceX was planning on using carbon fiber to make their Starship. That's what he named his Mars luxury cruise liner Starship. And they were going to make it out of carbon fiber. But Elon Musk changed it to, believe it or not, this is true fact, stainless steel. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you may want to invest in stainless steel because they're going to make thousands of these rockets out of stainless steel. And the Raptor engine is going to use methane. So I guess it doesn't matter whether the methane's coming out of a cow's ass or whether it comes from the Arctic or out of a SpaceX Raptor engine.
So Val, is this SpaceX? Is this government funded or is it private telecom?
Okay, it's partially. SpaceX is an Elon Musk company.
Oh, it's private.
Okay, and right now, SpaceX is for commercial capitalization and profit is resupplying the International Space Station. But Elon Musk has just unveiled his what he calls Starship. Okay. And this is a spacecraft that is supposed to go up to orbit in 2020. Okay. 2020, they're going to launch Starship to orbit, not to Mars. And Starship is can hold 100 passengers. but he plans on increasing it to 200 passengers, and that's their plan now. They also so SpaceX plans on making money from these communication satellites, 16,000, but they also plan on making money. This is even crazier. Elon Musk, he wants to use this Starship to do short terrestrial flights, say from like Washington to Australia, Sydney, in like an hour using a rocket. Now, I'm not making this up, okay? There's no firm plans on using Starship to do this. There's some major problems because if you're going to take a flight from Washington to Sydney on one of his rockets, you're sitting atop a giant bomb. Okay, it's a huge bomb. Okay. So some people may be more likely take the 20-hour flight to Sydney on a regular aircraft.
Which has controllable bombs. I mean, the engines are.
Well, yeah, it's a lot more. I mean, you have this huge methane tank. If it went off, it would be equal to a small atomic bomb. You would be vaporized. Okay.
I'll add that to the list of how I'd like to go, to be vaporized.
You would be vaporized instantly.
It's now replaced my formerly number one way to go, which was freezing to death.
Not me too, man.
I'll take vaporized.
That's one of the reasons why they plan on using stainless steel on his rockets, is because it's stainless steel has better cryogenic properties than the carbon fiber and aluminum. So there's much better. But here's some other ways they plan on making money, that Elon Musk plans on making money to pay for off-world colonization. Of course, they already have the government resupply contracts to resupply the International Space Station. They're going to do the Starlink communication satellite business. That's 16,000 satellites. They also plan on, this is great. I know this sounds crazy, but this is for real. Selling tickets to Mars, and of course, the super fast air travel using the BFR or Starship.
So where are all the private billions of dollars that should be geared towards dealing with climate change? Where are those billions of dollars? Why aren't they being directed there?
Okay, well, first let me say this, okay? Jeff, you know who Jeff Bezos is?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, Jeff Bezos is saying that we have to get all manufacturing off of Earth and into space using O'Neill cylinders, okay? And kind of leave Earth as sort of a park, okay? And not do any manufacturing and move most of the popular. Now, this is things that Jeff Bezos is quoted as saying.
Okay. Yeah, but isn't Jeff Bezos just a glorified former hedge fund operator? I mean, well, how does he know about this kind of stuff?
He, in his high school valedictorian speech, like 1977 or whatever, he said that was his goal, was to get into space, put people in space in what they call O'Neill cylinders, which are kind of like giant satellites that have kind of a facility of Earth inside of it, and they spin and give a fake gravity, okay, through centrifugal force. Okay, so he wants to get people into these space colonies in space and manufacturing, and kind of leave Earth to a natural forces. They plan on making money from doing this manufacturing in space and on the moon. That's their, I mean, I know it sounds crazy, okay, but that's their plan. I researched this pretty well. It's all fact.
Yeah, it looks like you did. Yeah. Wow. Well, whatever. We know that the money's not heading towards working towards resolving poverty in the country or the world. We know that the money's not going towards addressing the despoilation of the oceans. We know the money's not going towards trying to reduce the effects of abrupt climate change. I mean,
Right.
Whatever. That's capitalism for you. I mean,
right.
I'm not a fan.
Well, I'm not a fan either. In fact, Christine is as anti-capitalist as you get.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I've always been anti-capitalist, but
and we're gonna talk about.
I'm way worse than anti-capitalist now.
Yes, she is. She has. Marx had his manifesto. Christine has a video of her own manifesto. So you got Karl Marx manifesto and Christine's manifesto online.
There was something I did 5 months ago, and he pointed it out to me. I forgot I did it. I forgot all about it, and he pointed it out to me, and I went back to it. I'm like, yeah, I still stand by that. So I posted it as my video trailer, and that's to this day is what I stand by.
Well, she does bullet points of each of her philosophy of no growth, of environmental first.
Yes.
Okay, that's her philosophy, is environment first. And she spells it out point by point in this manifesto video, which everybody should want. I should also mention, since she's back, the SpaceX, I think it's the Falcon Super Heavy. I don't know if you've seen any pictures of it, but it looks like a big dick, a big circumcised dick. Have you seen that?
No.
Look at it.
It's a good thing I'm not monetized. No, even if I was monetized, I wouldn't care because I don't want commercials to show. So if you swear enough or have controversial comments, they won't show commercials. So.
Well, if you have Val, you're gonna, you ramp up.
It's okay though. I don't care. I'm not gonna change my show to be monetized. I'm not. It's just not gonna.
There is a sexual aspect to these rockets. These big rock. They look to me like dicks.
Okay, Jilly says hemp replaces all oil and plastic cement too, and I do want to find out more about that. I'm trying to get someone on my show who wants to talk about that. So, I'm a big hemp fan. So
I've got a good candidate for that. His name is Reese Dodd, and we had him on our show over a year ago, and he knows all about hemp.
Oh, cool. Well, refer him to me. Give him my email. You have my email.
I'll try and hook him up with you. In the meantime, we ran a couple of shows with him. We're talking like about March last year, March 18.
Okay.
I think so.
Well, send him an email. Tell him I'd really like to have him on my show.
And I'll do that. I haven't talked to him in a long time, so
it's all right. Snark wants a link. Mitchell wants to come on.
I got to look up
and
that
Dave's back. Cool.
Yeah.
Right. There's the link. There's the link, Mitchell.
So what did you guys discuss tonight, Paul?
You mean you didn't watch us, Val?
I'm here.
I had him on over half an hour early because we talked before if we can. So
of course I'm going to watch the rerun, Paul.
Hey, I'm getting good at being on time, for Christ's sake. I'm working on that, so we have to get together in advance.
Well, I ended the show actually so that people
There's Mitchell.
Watch this one. And, Brian went off to bed. We started off with politics. We're going to be talking about that, obviously, and then I probably went off on a rather idealistic tangent about materialism not being necessary towards happiness. And
nice. Oh, Dave's here too. Yay! Oh my gosh, we got a nice panel now. Hi, Dave. I missed you so much.
Yay. Dave, hello, Dave.
Yeah, y'all know Dave.
after Dave gets a chance to talk, I'll talk about the space processing.
Oh boy, yeah. Dave, what's going on, Dave? What's going on with Ungovernables and all the stuff you're working on?
Well, basically, what we're doing, we're doing a weekly cast, just working towards our protest next year, our obstruct the vote protest, and working on a whole bunch of different actions. Actually, one of the more recent ones is boycott Amazon,
Nice.
and just to try to push the facts about it and how globalist they actually have become and how scary it's antitrust on steroids. So
Agreed.
I don't know how much I could talk about it, but not only do they have the information side, they have contracts with the CIA and, by default, the NSA, and they are working towards, and they will get a confirm or the contract with the Department of Defense. Eventually, they will with the Pentagon. They're storing people's information, and at the same time, they're selling recording and storage devices for individual people. I just saw an article where they record people in their intimate moments, and you know where that could go.
Oh yeah.
They have a massive transportation infrastructure, and they're growing it by the minute. They're in ways actually even competing with the Postal Service, which is fine, but they're going that route. I don't know how much of the food supply they own at this point through their grocery stores, but it's just they're growing day by day, and nobody's stopping them at all. So I just want people to take a look at how massive they've become and what they're doing. It's not even, and on top of that, how they treat their workers, and as in your frame of reference, how much pollution they cause just through the waste that they create.
Oh yeah, just the 2 day ship, and I was a big fan until I realized how much transportation contributes to pollution worldwide.
Right.
So, and now I'm like, no, and they're not a contributor to society, like in a good way at all. I don't want anything to do with Bezos at all.
I'm looking into how I try to figure out how they're subcontracting, because what they're doing with their delivery system, they're putting out these ads where you too can be part of our business, and I'm trying to figure out if they have any regulations whatsoever as to the safety of the vans that people use, and do they bring them in, do they test them? I doubt it very seriously.
I doubt it,
So
but that's one thing. I drive a lot, obviously, and I hate it. I hate that I have to drive so much. But one thing I see, I've noticed like this last month, especially, well, last 2 months, Amazon Prime vans like are all over the place. I see them like one right after another. They're all in like this train of vans going out. I can't even imagine. But anyway, uh,
and it's not only that, you have these subcontracted vans with no logos on them whatsoever that come out, and people are using their own cars and stuff. So
yeah, I've heard that too.
yeah.
Does anybody have Amazon Prime here?
I kind of do, yeah, but I don't. I felt guilty and stopped using it. Like
Okay,
I've already paid for it for the year, but I stopped using it.
Yeah,
And
value added.
Pretty much, bro.
Not
It's mostly for the movies.
I don't know. You guys.
No, my wife has it. I can't.
I'm here.
I've been railing against it, and she's like, Dave, install this stick. I'm like,
I
I'm
know.
not gonna lie,
My
man.
kids use it, so I feel bad taking it away from my kids that are not making a decent living. It's like,
I just don't buy material stuff, so I don't use it.
I hardly buy anything. I am the cheapest thing ever. I don't buy anything. I hate buying new things. I hate it. Most of my stuff is secondhand. I just reuse what I'm given. So
that's another part of our movement. Don't buy shit you don't need. That's a big slogan.
I don't think Deb's gonna call me now because she keeps threatening to call me, and then she doesn't. And I think she's mad at me because I supported Greta when she spoke out against the Green New Deal, kinda. I was kind of
or another way to
excited
put
about
it is stop buying the things you don't need.
Yeah. Yes, stop buying things you don't need. I'm so a proponent of that. But anyway, I think Deb's mad at me. I don't think she's going to call me now.
To be honest with you, I don't know if she is. I'll talk to her, but she's really busy with her radio station, Become Ungovernable Radio, and we're planning a lot of stuff. So it's probably not a matter of that. Now, in terms of Greta, I've had so many conversations about Greta. It's making me ill. I think that she is an instrument for propaganda because she's perfect.
Well, yeah, she is. I don't think she's
being used.
She is being used, but I don't think she's a tool. Like, I don't think she's doing it on purpose, and I know she's speaking out against it, so that makes me happy. She's speaking out against those people using her. So, yay.
Book Hermit says that he uses Amazon to sell books, I guess. Do you guys have any comment about the Amazon secondary services?
There are other ways to do it. There are other ways to sell other than use Amazon. You can. I know Etsy isn't a great way to sell books, but Etsy, eBay, there are other ways to do it.
I'm not going to hold it against anybody using the system that we are forced into. But, to make a living and all that, because we are all forced into this situation.
I will definitely suggest alternatives.
Yeah, if you can, but I'm not going to hate you. I'm not going to hate you if that's what you have to do to make a living. I'm not going to. I mean, I'm a freaking sales rep, for crying out loud. How could I? That would be hypocrisy for me to tell you not to make a living.
I mean, I suppose from
the way you can.
Book Hermit's point of view, Amazon might help the small business owner or independent small.
At the same time, they're putting out small bookstores. Yeah, they're putting out a business small bookstores. But okay, Mitchell, I know you have something to say. Let's give him the floor for a minute.
I do have an Amazon box behind me. One of my, I'm extremely rural.
Right.
I've seen cities. I'm not in a city. So I don't have as many choices as you for alternatives. One of my secondary objections to bring up is the number of boxes. I bought this juice thing trying to get healthier, and it came in that box, and it came with other packing.
Right.
That box would have been fine.
Right.
But it had to have this big box with a smile on it. And it's a big box. So there had to be stuff to space it out in there. But I was going to get back to, I was listening. I couldn't get in when you're talking about space manufacturing.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. I can't see all the comments all the time, but yeah.
Go ahead.
Right. Okay. I'm for the space manufacturing, not moving all our manufacturing to space, but several types. First of all, one of the things we have to do is get the amount of energy we need for refrigeration and cooling down. Those of us in the north do heating, but a majority of the people past the middle of the country have to cool their houses, even year round. And throughout the parts of the advanced parts of the world, we use an abnormally high amount of energy for cooling. And it is worldwide. And if you go to the Arab continents, the wealthy areas, they really have to cool. So there's this the biggest emerging field in the 20th century were the petrochemicals and then later on nuclear and electronics. The biggest emerging technology for this century is magnetocalorics. It's switching heat into electricity and electricity into the movement of heat, basically refrigeration. And the material that we need for it is rare on the planet, but it is extremely populous in the asteroids. Is the only way we find it down here is go near the KT boundary in the Earth, where the big asteroid hit. That's why they call it the Cretaceous-Triassic boundary, and that's where you find that material from that incident. And so we need to go back out to the sky to bring more of these rocks down to use efficiently. They will use 5% of the energy that we use now for heating and cooling, which would be enough to tip the scales on our future editions of most of our heat that we generate on the planet. When, in other words, the heat we generate is our electricity we generate. For every watt of electricity we generate between 3 to 12 watts of heat. So we have to get down the amount of heat we do. We do not want to refine this stuff in our atmosphere. So the best place to do it would be to set up a factory in the orbit of Mars.
Mitchell,
Yeah.
you know what an O'Neill cylinder is?
Yes, I do. We
Okay.
don't really need one. We got Mars.
Well, what you were talking about is what Bezos said. Okay, he said exactly that he wants to put manufacturing in space and leave the Earth as kind of a nature preserve. Okay.
Well, that really isn't energy effective to go 100%.
I'm not saying,
but there are some materials.
I'm repeating what Bezos said. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the problem is getting the hundreds and thousands of launches to get the gear to the moon and to possible O'Neill spheres or cylinders and building O'Neill cylinders.
That's where the error is.
Okay,
we do not need to launch the material.
And you heard me mention that SpaceX is going to launch 16,000 communication satellites.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
The astronomy world is very upset about that.
Right, because it's going to photobomb, because it's going to grid off the Earth longitude and latitude. And you can almost see these things from Earth. Almost. Okay? But the problem with getting the manufacturing in space is that you got to get the launches to take the gear to space to start doing
that. Is incorrect.
How's that?
That is incorrect. Well, we need to get a portion of the materials lifted. The materials we really need to efficiently do the manufacturing in space is already up there.
Okay, but you're still
so
right.
We need,
but the satellites alone is going to be high hundreds of launches to get these satellites up there. And you heard that SpaceX new Raptor engines are using methane. You heard that, correct?
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
Whether it comes out of a cow's ass or the Arctic.
When they exit the back end of that rocket, they're no longer methane. They are extremely efficient, especially if they switch from the Bell type of nozzles to I forgot what the other type was.
Each rocket's going to have 35 to 47 Raptor engines. Yeah.
No, I actually believe that, but we're not talking as many launches of heavy launches. That is not the biggest aircraft or spacecraft that they plan to launch either.
I know.
So I'm not saying that it's without issue.
He's talking about Starship can carry up to 200 passengers.
Yeah, I'm not sure on each of his
and they're going to launch
that he has.
They plan on launching Starship 2020.
Right, a large scale launching of people, and
no, not a launch.
No,
a test. They plan on launching either Starship or Super Heavy, which is the booster. Okay, that's what they're calling the booster, Super Heavy. And they plan on launching that into orbit 2020.
My understanding was their next launch was going to be approximately 12 people.
Yeah, I don't. That could be true. I don't know. But Starship is capable of taking 200. So they may do 12 people as a test launch.
Well, we have issues that we need to get under control.
Obviously.
And what we have a problem with is some of these stories tend to get blown up on certain details. And
she's falling asleep there.
Oh no,
For
I'm
instance,
just chatting.
the methane. When you have an extremely pure burn like that, very little methane comes out of the back end of it. It is almost 100% converted.
Well, that might be a good way to get rid of the methane, man.
It is a good way to get rid of the methane. In fact, we have a large amount of methane we need to get rid of. And if we use it for spacecraft propulsion, that means that a majority of it will actually be burned off outside of our atmosphere.
They're talking about.
Can they capture the methane that's being released in the, what is it, the Siberian sphere?
So,
there are other issues with that. I don't know if you have time for me to talk about it.
Go ahead.
Methane hydrate on the bottom of the ocean. There has been a case in the past where methane hydrate lost the amount of pressure it needs for the amount of or the temperature that's in the water.
Right.
There's an envelope that keeps it captured down at the bottom of the ocean. The last time that there was a large methane underwater explosion, it reshaped the Norwegian coast. Tsunamis levels greater than a volcano or an earthquake can create.
Okay, you're talking prehistorical. You're not talking recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we're happening is we have these large methane beds that we are approaching those types of levels when we have a condition that's called methane flaring. So right now the Arctic is hitting the point where those methane beds are becoming unstable, and large portion of them changes state from being somewhat like, it looks like ice. I believe it was Styx that had an album back in the 70s where they show an ice cube on fire. That is methane hydrate.
Right.
So it goes from being a solid almost to being a gas.
Well,
So
here's the problem, Mitchell. If there's like what 1,500 gigatons of methane. No, it's not 1,500 gigatons. It's a lot, okay, of methane in the Arctic. And also, I think
gotta let my dog out.
said that 50 gigatons could be released in one burst. So they need to figure a way to cool the freaking Arctic off. Big time, quick.
The way to cool the Arctic is to cool the equator.
How's that?
Great big loads of manure, sterilized and dumped in the ocean.
Okay, you're talking about manure. Is that what you said, manure?
Yeah.
In the equatorial oceans, what's that going to do?
Increase the amount of marine bacteria or marine algae.
But isn't that like dumping sewage directly into the ocean?
That's why you have to sterilize it first.
That would probably be.
That's what happened in the past before we killed the whales.
You should tell Chris that, because that's.
Okay. Sorry, I had to let my dog out.
I think I've told Chris that before.
Probably. I don't know what I missed, but probably.
The whale cycle.
Oh, yes, the whale. Whale poop. Yes.
It's one of the most important mechanisms we have for reducing the amount of carbon dioxide we have. And we've killed off such a portion of the whales that really one of the most important things we can do is get whales breeding. And at the same time, we're letting several countries go out whaling. We need
Japan has started whaling again. Damn Japan.
That needs to stop for sure. They ought to just ban it. End the story. No more whaling.
Yeah, whaling needs to go away.
One whale, carbon dioxide wise, is equal to probably the United States worth of forests.
Okay, but you got it.
What happened? I
lost
can't hear
sound.
you. Val, your sound. You put your microphone on mute.
And he's not looking at us.
I know. There
To
it goes.
go back to how spreading manure in the equatorial oceans is going to cool
Yeah,
the
whale
Arctic.
poop, Zox. Whale poop. Go whale
How's
poop.
that going to cool the Arctic?
Because it would immediately drop the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere within several months. We would have a correction in the amount of carbon dioxide we have.
Okay,
Dave.
And start
then why aren't
correcting
they? That seems pretty simple. Why aren't they doing it?
Because
But
people
my
are
decision-
idiots. They're stupid. That's why. People are dumb. Oh my God,
Damn.
there's simple solutions, but they won't do it because they're too busy trying to make $1. That's why.
Well, you see, in the past, we had to tell the cruise ships to stop dumping their sewage in the ocean because they were dumping it raw.
Yeah.
How's
We need
that?
to sterilize it first. We need to get the diseases out first. They just need the nutrients. They don't need the other stuff.
Well, wouldn't it be easier just to put the nutrients directly in to grow the
Underwater
nutrients?
mood music. Chris Foster.
Well, my question is, how complex is the sterilization process?
Heat it with sunlight
Oh, okay. So, and how long does that take?
until it's dry and hot.
Oh,
I'd say it probably has to go above 200 degrees.
Okay.
In some sunlight, that could be minutes. In some
Okay,
sunlight, that could be days.
Wouldn't you say, Mitchell, that cooling the Arctic is the #1 priority to keep the planet from going Venus?
Yeah,
I
but
can't think of a bigger-
it's just like flying a helicopter. In a helicopter, when you want to go forward, you don't push the stick forward. You push it to the left or the right. I can't remember which one. And there is a lag. So when the rotor goes around, it pushes you forward, but you don't push forward to go forward.
Okay, well, but that's not what I said was that of all the environmental concerns, okay, and there's a shitload of them, there's a lot. The #1 priority, in my opinion, would be keeping the Arctic cool. Because if the Arctic overheats, we're done.
And what's the major mechanism that's warming the Arctic?
Well, it's in a positive feedback loop. It's albedo.
Yeah.
#1.
What is the feedback loop? What is the
One
cause
of
of
them
the
is
feedback
albedo.
loop? No, it's convection.
Well, convection, but albedo's even bigger because they've lost albedo.
We've lost albedo, so we can't get albedo back directly, but we can control the feedback loop.
How's
and the
that?
feedback loop is controlled by convection. So the wind currents, convection, the lifting at the equator draws the cold air and gets that circulation going to the Arctic. So the way to cool the Arctic is to go to the absolute extreme point on the planet, which is the equator, and to lower the carbon dioxide level at that layer, and then let the convection transport that to the Arctics and the Antarctic, and it took us 20,000 years to get to this point. Sure, the last 1,000, the last 100 especially, have been extreme parts of change, but we have to start the curve somewhere, and
Well,
that's not the only thing that I would do.
They better get on it, quickly, post haste, because it's in a current positive feedback loop. Okay.
Also, we have a heat issue now.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, you think? I think.
No, we do not have the ability to quickly lose the heat through the methods that are currently available through nature. So I believe we have 0.1% of the ability we need to remove the heat from the atmosphere. to get the heat out of the
Okay, you
atmosphere.
said 0.1% capability. That's it.
That's it.
That's kind of weak.
Because of the temperatures involved are not efficient for losing heat.
Right.
So what we need to do is, no matter how much heat we produce, it's going to be the same that's coming from the sun. So to remove more heat, we have to concentrate the heat that we have in some locations. And we have to use the method that the space shuttle used
Gotta
to
let my
remove
dog
its
back
heat.
in.
Because the space shuttle could not lose its heat through convection. The planet
Okay, you're
Earth
talking
cannot
about
lose
using tiles. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm not.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm talking about we need to concentrate the infrared signature of some of the areas on the planet near the equator, so that we, again, create convection. But the other part is we need to get heat out of the planet.
Okay, so
And they're going to have to pick us. They're going to have to pick a frequency that doesn't bounce off our atmosphere.
so what you're kind of saying is using heat as part of the energy to do this.
We need to pump the heat up. So
Okay, but
currently,
you're talking about using the heat itself.
well, I kind of need to talk without getting interrupted for a few minutes.
Okay, well, I'm not. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
figure this out.
Give Mitchell
ahead.
a second. Let him make his point.
Go ahead.
That's fine.
So what happens naturally, if you had a 100-degree room, if I stick a plate in the room, that plate's not going to go above 100 degrees. Now, if I stick something in the sunlight, it might get a little bit hotter because it's able to absorb more heat by the different amount it reflects. Now, one of the problems we have is there are areas in the spectrum that do not leave the atmosphere easily because we have the greenhouse effect. So whatever heat we give off is going to be inefficient. Now, in the space shuttle, they can't lose any heat through conduction or convection. They had to use light to get rid of all of their heat. So on the inside of the doors to the shuttle bay, as soon as they got the shuttles open or out in the space, they opened the doors. And the doors were great big light radiators. And they used those to ramp up the heat that was being emitted from the space shuttle. So in order to do that, we have to pump the heat. And we need something efficient to pump the heat. And that material is called gadolinium. And we don't have enough on the planet. And that's why we need, not Bezos, what's the other guy?
Musk.
We need Musk's operation to get going, to go out and bring gadolinium back to Mars, process it, and then only use the energy amount we need to take just that material back to our atmosphere.
Okay, but
and we need another material called iridium to be able to get it down into our atmosphere without having to use thrust.
Okay, another simple concept to look at is the way that air conditioners work, where it uses a heat difference in air conditioners to cool. Okay,
we could use that, but it would take 20 times more. It would produce 20 times more energy than we need to get rid of.
But that's how air conditioners work. That's how air conditioners cool.
And that's why we need to switch to a different technology called magnetocalorics, which allow us to efficiently transport heat.
Then why don't they use magnetocalorics in air conditioners if it's more efficient?
Because we don't have enough material on this planet.
Okay.
They currently magnetocalorics
then that would be if you can't get enough material just for air conditioners, to cool the Arctic is going to be a bit problematic.
And that's why we need space travel.
Well, I think not to go off on a non sequitur, but you've heard of Musk using stainless steel in his rockets. 301 stainless steel. They're built instead of using carbon fiber, they're going with stainless steel. And
I wasn't involved.
Huh?
I wasn't involved in the decision. So
okay,
I don't know
well,
why they went
but the point is, I'm not making this up. They are using instead of aerospace companies, they're using water tank manufacturers to make the actual rockets. Starship, Falcon, they're making them. A water tank manufacturer is making these. This is fact.
Yeah, again, I wouldn't get too upset with that until I knew the
I'm
particulars.
not upset with it, but I'm like, that's really odd because usually they use like Boeing or Northrop or one of them.
How many aircraft has Boeing had grounded this year?
Oh, I don't know. Well, Boeing's of course the 737, but that's, you know, I'm just saying that Musk is using a water tank manufacturer to make.
He might be using a water manufacturing water manufacturer because they can do the process that he needs.
Well, that's what he
might not be using so much their expertise as their expertise just on how to do the welds he wants. Now, there might be a reason his engineer selected it, and I'm not going to put down that engineer's knowledge until I know
I'm not
why
either. It's just it's different. Okay, it's out of the ordinary compared to
it's a reusable spacecraft.
Right.
It's a reusable spacecraft. Stainless steel is a very unreactive metal. He's picked a good metal until he can get iridium.
I want to mention before we go further, these spacecraft, they look like rockets out of 1950s movies because they're made out of stainless steel.
Again, I'm not hung up on the stainless steel.
I'm not hung up on it either. It's interesting that they've gone with stainless steel.
It's not like I pick up the phone and talk to Bebop and ask him why he made that decision.
Well, that's whatever. Elon Musk. I don't think
Bebop Kreska is his engineer. Advisor.
Well, supposedly Elon Musk came up with the idea himself of using stainless steel. 301 stainless steel to be specific.
Yeah, again, he's trying to make a reusable rocket, not a disposable.
Well, and he's also
the space shuttle. The space shuttle basically had to be rebuilt after every launch.
But the point of it is, he's planning on making hundreds of them. Hundreds.
Make the stainless steel once versus energy of making many carbon fiber objects.
Well, right.
Carbon fiber isn't exactly that environmentally friendly either.
No, but if you make hundreds of rockets, that's not going to be too environmentally friendly. That's a lot of steel, bro.
Yeah, we waste more steel than that every day. We really need to get a handle on recycling. I personally would think that I would like to see more rage in people go to putting glass in garbage dumps. We could be breaking the glass up. If we had electric trains, taking electric trains to the desert, remelt the glass, make pebbles, make our rocks. Don't mine new rocks. Take all the broken glass we have and either recycle it.
Yes! Thank you, Mitchell!
Rocks for the road.
Use everything in the freaking garbage dump and use it for something instead of mining and producing new things. Thank you for saying that.
We have so much gallium arsenide in our dumps that we almost don't have to conquer any more African countries.
Okay, so go to the salvage yard, the auto salvage yard, and recycle the steel from there.
But you know how much it costs to recycle steel? They won't do, and how much fuel it takes to recycle steel.
I was kind of making a joke.
I know that's a totally different thing, but use what we have is my point.
Right. I was kind of making a joke though. Recycling.
Sorry, I got involved in talking in the chat, and I don't even. I may be totally off topic.
My whole thing is listening to everything is. Unless it's cost effective and unless it creates a profit for people, they're not going to do it. Why would you recycle stuff when you can make more and make more profit off of it?
Right.
I mean, that's my thing.
That's kind of the problem. I
can't even solve my own simple problems, and I'm going to ask Chris something because I just went into my kitchen. how do I get the possums out of my house?
I don't know. You have
Peanuts.
possums
like-
in your house? I'd be like,
Yeah,
cool, I have possums
we-
in my house.
we have a possum family, and I'm just trying to get them. Obviously, they want heat and they want the cat food and all that. I'm trying to get them out of the house. I mean, y'all are talking about mining in space, and I'm going to my kitchen and trying to get the possums out of my house. I'm like, I'm thinking, small school.
One
Yeah.
of my friends
Possums love
on here
peanuts in
has
the
a
shell.
possum. Like Andre, he was here last show. He's not here today, but Andre, he has a pet possum.
So, how far are you from your neighbor's house?
Not very far. Like,
Well, Dave.
Not that far. And we feed a lot of birds, so we have peanuts in the shell by the sackful.
Yeah. Peanuts in the shell. Okay, you make a line of peanuts in the shell to your neighbor's house.
Zox,
and you
he
put a
knows
great
how.
big pile there, and then he'll figure out how to get rid of the possums.
Ask Zox, he knows. Zox knows. Dave, Zox says he knows how. Zox says he knows how.
I put
Ask
a
him
big
how.
peanut line to the middle of the road. That's horrible.
Possums are immune to rabies and eat ticks. See?
Ew,
That's
really?
good. Yeah.
I swear, possums smile when they see peanuts.
I'm gonna try that when I get off this thing.
Awesome.
There's a window right here.
Yeah, you
and
gotta
it's-
say everyone welcome Tanya. We have a new person. Tanya.
Hello.
I
But
know
I have
she's
this
new because
window
she's
here.
not a mod. She's
I
not
know.
a mod
and
yet.
it's
I'm sorry.
And
I
the
just
windows-
modded everybody who's been regulars. So it's like, yeah, you get mod. You get mod.
this window is at ground level, and a few winters ago, I felt bad for the animals because it was really cold, and
Right.
I kept feeding them.
Mhm.
So I would have a possum come up to the window,
Aw.
and I would open the window just a little bit and throw them a bunch of peanuts out. And then a little bit later, I'd get a tap on the window, and a raccoon showed up for his, and they would wait in line out here.
Aw.
And a raccoon, the first time I caught him, he's like, like he's got a handful of peanuts.
Aw.
And then he realized, oh, I can eat these. So like,
I call my wife Dr. Doolittle because she likes all animals. She's like, oh, the possums are cute and all
We
that.
would get along so well.
We have cats, so a raccoon actually jumped on her lap when she was sleeping, and she went to pet it and scared the hell out of her, and the raccoon went and then jumped off. But it's like, that's a bit much, when the raccoon or possum like goes to the refrigerator, opens the refrigerator, looks what's in, goes, it's like there's a level where the animals get a little too comfortable, and I'm like, but yeah, they're just looking for heat, and we have a
I love animals.
really comfortable basement and stuff. Well, you're an animal person. I figured I'd ask you.
I don't know how to. I know how to bring them to me. I don't know how to get them away. I don't try. Like if deer were coming in my yard eating my food, I'm like, what else can I grow that they would like? That's kind of
Right.
that's my thinking. I'm weird that way.
Raccoons scare the hell out of me. I don't know that much about
I'm
possums.
really super sad. Raccoons.
Long Island raccoons are dangerous. They really are.
They do kill chickens and ducks and stuff.
they're like little bears.
Yeah, but I've been really sad because I've seen so many dead on the side of the road this
Right.
last week, like way more than I've ever seen. I've seen so many dead raccoons like that got hit by cars. So I'm super sad, and they're such smart animals. It horrifies
They're
me.
probably becoming more and more desperate for food, and they're crossing the road and they're taking that chance more and more. That's probably what it is.
Probably, yeah. I
Here
would
it's
imagine,
different.
yeah.
Right now it's harvest season, and lot of corn falls off the trucks. So the roads are just lined with corns. It's like this great big deer feeder.
Right.
So I mean, the deer are just coming out like wild right now, and it's bad. And they don't hear my car, and I'm just lucky the car has radar, and it beep beep beep. I can run the brakes.
Well, deer
I'm sure
are dangerous. Deer are dangerous to traffic. I mean,
These
a
are big deer,
rabbit-
yeah.
yeah. They're basically
Um,
smaller horses. So
Tanya said she had a baby possum that would come eat in her little garden.
yeah,
Oh,
I
but
gotta
they're
try
just
the
trying to
peanut
eat.
thing.
I mean, we're taking up all of their habitat. So how can you blame them? Like when the foxes came and ate my ducks and chickens, as
I
much as
don't blame them. I just
it
don't
pissed me
want them to like
off.
bite me.
No, but it pissed me off. You know that they're eating my ducks and my chickens, but their land they started developing on. They've started putting houses where they live. How can I blame them for what humans are doing and driving them out of their land? They're just trying to survive. That's all. That's it. It's like I can't blame them for that. They're just surviving.
Brought to you by Indigenous Peoples Day. I mean, that sounded a lot like Indigenous Peoples Day.
Well,
my
it is.
school,
Okay, that was what were you here at the beginning of the show when we were
No,
talking
I
about
wasn't.
Indigenous Peoples Day? Because
my school wouldn't even mention it.
well,
We didn't
really,
celebrate the day as a holiday, anything. Just
really, they didn't
we
even
don't
talk
mention it.
about. Well, at least they weren't talking about Columbus and how great he was. Not.
Yeah. It's just like that's a controversy where we didn't go there today.
That's kind of good. I'm glad they rather did not go rather than when I was a kid and they celebrated Columbus. So I'm
Yeah,
really
no, it
happy.
wasn't
Let's see
even
where
on
they
our
go.
calendars.
Let's see where they go on Thanksgiving,
Oh,
because that's another one that
yeah, it kind of is.
yeah.
It really is not a happy day for Native Americans at all.
Not a happy day for vegans.
No, not a happy day for
But
vegans. My
turkeys,
daughter's coming and she's kind of a vegan, vegetarian, vegan, whatever. One of my daughters is one of those. So, um, we're gonna try to, you know, help her. I gotta cook the turkey and stuff, but I don't eat meat very much. I try my best. I do. Aw, there's the bear. Val, what's the bear's name again? You probably can't hear me. I don't know.
Sandra for Sandra Bullock.
It's what?
Sandra for Sandra
Sandra?
Bullock.
Oh, I love Sandra
Sandra
Bullock.
Bullock.
She's awesome. She's one of my favorite actresses.
I love that bear, but
That's
not
a cute
too
bear.
much.
Not too much, not that much, not to where it's creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we really should go. I'm so happy you joined me, Mitchell, and I am going to pass on that. But really, I'd rather like to have like a panel with you, me, and Lear.
I don't know how much I can participate. But Dr. Contento, get him.
I don't know who that is. Send me information. You have my email,
I did.
right? Oh, you did. Oh, is it in
I don't know that I have your email.
Discord? Well, my email's the same thing as my YouTube channel. It's just Gmail. You
Okay.
know, the Natural Progressive at Gmail. Same thing. So send me anything there that you want me to look into. I can't
Yeah.
guarantee I can get to it right away. I try. I get sent. You would not believe how much stuff I get sent. But I try to keep up on all of it and get
do
there.
you guys still really do Discord? I've kind of migrated away from it.
I hate Discord. I do it because my family is on it. Like I have a family Discord, so I still go
Right.
there and look at it. And that was the only way I knew to get hold of Mitchell was through Discord. So
Right.
I talked to him on that, and I know you. Well, you're probably not on. Really.
I'm
Anyway,
kind of on it. We found other platforms. It's kind of like you migrate to other platforms
yeah,
that are a little more. Discord was good for a while because it has the chat on it, especially for people who don't want to give you their phone number, which I completely understand.
yeah, I get that too. I'd just
and
rather give
stuff
my
like that,
email. It's like contact me through my email instead of Facebook and Discord and all this crap. It's just I want it all in one place. Just go to my email. The
Right.
Natural Progressive at gmail.com. That's my email. Use it. That works the best because that's where I check almost daily. Is that doesn't mean I'll respond daily, but I do check it daily. I just sometimes get anxiety and then I don't respond. So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
And I do believe that Musk is going with the Falcon engines
Yeah.
only until they can certify linear aerospikes.
Well,
And
yeah,
I think
I
that'll be
heard
5
that
to 10
too.
years.
They make changes. They will complete a rocket and then suddenly go, let's switch to stainless steel, or they'll switch engines. Yeah, I've heard that about the spikes too.
Okay, guys, wait.
Yeah. So the
So if you're not
aerospace
subscribed and you're a new
atmosphere.
viewer, please subscribe to me. I'm trying to get to 1,000. After 1,000, I don't give a crap. I just want to get to 1,000. I am 200 and
Short.
202 away or something like that.
Close.
So I'm really close. Please, please, please. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And I do have a PayPal. I did have requests to get a PayPal. Now it's on my about page. You just gotta click. You'll see it on the.
It's right there, but you need to
Yeah.
download the icon because it's hard to see.
No, it's better now. You haven't
Oh.
been there lately. It's
Okay.
better. It says if you want, you can see it now. I fixed it. So,
I guess you might have lost a bot. You're now at 203 away. If you were 202 away, maybe you lost a bot. I don't know.
yeah, it's been bumping up and down. I have no idea.
She steadily goes up every day, man.
But I
day
go
it's
down
up.
like 3, and then I'll go up like 4, and then
And
I'll go
always-
down like
yeah.
8, and then I'll go up like 10. It's so weird. I have
And
no idea.
it always that always happens. It really always happens. Maybe you said some mean things about Jane Fonda when she was. I had to get that out.
I didn't, but well, no, actually, I kind of did at the beginning. I think I talked about her being
Yay.
involved with Neera Tanden, and because she's pushing the Green New Deal, the Bernie.
She's ridiculously controlled
Anyway,
opposition and crazy.
okay, so yeah, maybe
right.
that was why, because I did bring up Neera
Right.
Tanden. So yeah, I didn't say. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm about nature, the Green New Deal. If you listen to my show, you got to follow it so you understand why I don't agree with the Green New Deal. It's not because I don't like nature. It's not because I don't want to save the planet. You just gotta, please
It's
just
the skewed corruption of it.
Yes,
It's not
the
not
money
the
interests that
ideology
are
of it.
trying to profit off of this whole thing.
Right.
Just you have to pay attention. Watch Bright Green Lies, the first one, the second one, and the third one with Derek Jensen. You may understand a little bit more about it. Anyway, I love you all.
The wrong Green New Deal, or something like that. The
Bright
wrong Green New Deal.
Green Lies is
Right.
Bright Green Lies 2, and Bright Green Lies 3. Watch those, and the second one is the best because you get to see bears show up in the background, and it's
that's
freaking
cool.
awesome. Wild bears show up in the window.
By the way,
Derek.
thanks guys. I fed the possums peanuts. We'll see how that works. I'll let you know what happens.
All right, you guys hang out just 1 second. I'm gonna say good night to everybody. Say good night to everybody, guys.
Good night.
We'll see
Love
you
you.
soon. We'll see you
Love you
Women's
all.
Wednesday with Trisha and Maggie, hopefully.
You won't